Okay, good evening, everyone. Where are the remaining people? Like a lot of the regular people is missing on today's session. Okay, let's wait for some more time so we can begin it off. Okay, so I think we can start now. Seems strength is too slow to too low today. Even in online also very less people. I don't know why. Fine. So in today's class, we are going to see the concept of volumes. Which concept? Basically, it's an important concept, but none of the people came to the class, and even online also I'm seeing very less strength. I don't know why. Okay, fine. So let me start now. So guys, in today's session, we are going to see the concept of EBS volume. Which one? EBS. Basically, what is EBS? EBS stand for Elastic Block Storage. What is EBS stand for? Sir, Elastic Block Storage can be called as root volume, or you can call it as boot volume. Why? Because our operating system will run. See, whenever if you create an EC2 instance, EC2 instance will come with the default OS, right? All the operating system files will be storing on the EBS volume. That is the reason we can call it as root volume, or even though we can call it as boot volume. Anything will be fine. Coming to the storage types for servers, we have two storage types. One is EBS, second one will be instance storage backward EC2. Guys, EBS is persistent. Persistent means if you stop or reboot your server, is data going to be deleted? we stopped servers a lot of time, right? When we stop the server, is our data losing? No, that is the meaning of persistent. That means even though if your server is running or stopped, your data will not be lost. But if you terminate it, then only your data will be lost. And coming to EBS, this is going to be networkly attached virtual drive to a server. For example, if I open the paint and I'm explaining this concept, whenever if you create the server need to have the storage. What the server need to have? Storage. The storage is going to provide by the EBS volume. But unfortunately, it is not physically attached. It is going to be virtually attached. That means this server will store the data on the EBS volume, which is connected over the virtual network. Which network? That means both the server as well as the EBS volume are not physically attached with each other. Is the first point clear for all of you know? That's it. So network attached is slower than physically attached. That means see here currently EBS is networkly attached to the server. So if you see here, whenever if you transfer data from EBS volume to server, it will take some time. Why? Because this is networkly connected. But if it is physically connected, the data will be transferred very, very speedily. Is the concept clear for you know? That's it. So this is the EBS volume. So it is persistent. That means if you stop or if you reboot, data will not be deleted. And coming to the type of attachment, it is networkly attached. That means there is server. Due to that, automatically the data is going to be transferred very, very slowly. Coming to the second type, it is instant storage backward EC2. Which one it is? Instant storage backward EC2, you know. For example, if I take a big rack of server, already, you know, servers are going to create inside the very big racks. These are the racks actually. Inside these racks, you can go and create how many number of servers as per your requirement. Here, how many servers I created? I created a total number of servers will be 4. For example, let's take. How many servers I have here? 4. For these 4 servers, I'll be having the fixed volume. This is the volume of my servers. It is gonna be fixed volume. So my server 1 will take the volume from here. Server 2 will take volume from this device. Server 3 will take it from here, and server 4 is also going to take it from here. But unfortunately, if you use instant stored backward EC2, it is fixed volume. You cannot expand. Let's take this volume is having 40 GB. How much? 40 GB. Sir, if it is 40 GB, I can spread 10 GB to all of my servers. Correct or not, sir? This will get 10 GB, this will get 10 GB, this will get 10, and this will get 10. So ultimately, if you give 10 GB per each device, whenever if we create a new server, this new server required data or not, sir? But will I get data from the instant stored backward EC2? No. Why? Because it is gonna be fixed volume. Which one? Fixed volume. Now, this instant stored backward EC2 will be virtual hard drive on a host which is allocated to EC2 instance. It is limited to some instance, and maximum per single device, how much of volume we can use? If it is more than 10 GB, we can provide it? No, and it is non-persistent. That means you can only reboot. If you stop your server or if you terminate your server, the data is going to be lost. EBS volume is not like that. If you terminate, then only data will be lost. But instant stored backward EC2 will remove your data if you stop it or if you terminate. Now you tell me which one is better, EBS or instant stored backward EC2? EBS. Why? Because EBS is having elasticity. That means you can increase the volume up to terabytes. You can increase. But here, can we increase on instant stored backward EC2? No. EBS is persistent. If you stop, data will not be lost. But instant stored backward EC2, if you stop, the data will be gone. So that is the reason why we are going to use the concept of EBS volume. But when we compare EBS and instant stored backward EC2, instant stored backward EC2 will transfer data very speedily, but EBS will take some time, like not very big time, some seconds mostly, like that. So now coming to the concept of EBS, EBS is a raw, unformatted external block storage that you can attach to the EC2 instance. EBS attached to EC2 through AWS network. Already we discussed. Whatever the EBS volume that you are having for your server. For example, let's take any of the server. I am taking it as my server. For this server, I want to have the volume. What I need to have? Volume. Why volume? Why? Because I want to store the data. Remember, our operating system will be storing on the EBS volume only. That is the reason why we can call as root volume. Which one? In interview, they will ask you what is root volume. The volume which is having operating system is called as correct. And this EBS volume will be attaching to my server through the virtual network. It is not physically connected. It is going to be connected through virtual network. So here coming to the concept, multiple EBS volume can be attached to single EC2 instance. That means if you have single EC2 instance, okay, if I have 10 volumes, I can attach 10 volumes for all of them. But at a time, you can attach only single volume, just simple like our Docker volumes. Single volume can be shared to multiple containers, right? Here also single volume can be shared to multiple servers. At a time, you can attach how many volumes? But we have the concept called multi-attach. Multi-attach means same volume you can attach to multiple servers at a same time. That is also having. So, but the main concept is your EBS volume and instance will be on same availability zone. For example, if I create EC2 instance on US East 1A, my EBS volume also US East 1A. If I create on 1B, I need to have it on 1B only. The data in EBS volume will be replicated to multiple copies in the same availability zone. For example, see, you have the EBS volume. It is on US East 1A, where it is. But if I want to copy the EBS volume from US East 1A to US East 1B, it is possible through the help of snapshots. Which one? That is very, very important concept. So is the introduction of EBS volume clear for all of you? Know? You came late. That is the reason you missed. Even I waited for 8, like 6:10. Just a couple of minutes ago, you came. I started the session. Okay. Online is the concept of EBS intro clear for all of you? Know? Can you please confirm in chat box? What about remaining online? I'm getting response from only few people. So guys, today's concept is going to be very, very interesting. Why? Because I'm going to teach you the concept of server migration. Have you ever heard about server migration? Today, I'm going to show it lively for you. Okay. Concept is going to be very, very amazing and interesting. So please focus here. Sir, coming to the type of volumes, basically we have two type of volumes. One is SSD, second one is SSD means it is gonna work very speedily. HDD means it is gonna work normally. Again in SSD we have two types, general purpose, provisioned IOPS. In HDD we have throughput, cold. And the last classification will be EBS magnetic, which we are not using. EBS magnetic is the first version of EBS volume when AWS launched the EC2 instance. But after the evolution, we came to HDD. Then finally, currently we are going with the SSD. Sir, in SSD, we are having two types, general purpose, provisioned IOPS. And in HDD, we are having again two types, throughput and cold. I'm going to explain what kind of volume type we need for what kind of situation. The concept is very easy. Let me explain with the of a function. For example, sir, you gone to a function. Just close the door. I think AC is going outside. For example, sir, you gone to a function. In that function, you met your uncle, very long distance uncle. Then what uncle is saying? First of all, they will ask you what, hey, bacha, like what you are doing, right? See, whenever if you go for in like a function, the first thing they are going to ask you, what are you doing, man? That's why it's tough, right? Same here. Okay. So basically, you have your uncle here. So unfortunately, it's not fortunately, unfortunately, you met it. Why? Because at that day, something bad happened to you, so you met him. So after meeting him, what is asking? Like, what are you doing? For example, let's take Dadapir. Dadapir, what you are doing? Then what you gonna tell? Uncle, like I'm taking a course from Naresh IT, like I was searching for job. Oh, still you are searching for Java. See my daughter, she is earning 1 lakh per month. Or she, my son, he is earning 1 lakh per month. You need to see and you need to inspire with them. Have I asked you? Without asking, yeah, unwanted suggestion these are, right? I haven't asked him suggestion, but he will give like this. So after the end of the conversation, he asked you to, okay, chalo, let's go and take a selfie. So what you're gonna do? You are going to take a selfie, correct or not, sir? Now you took a selfie with uncle. Do you want to store it separately or do you want to store it normally? Normal, right? So whenever if you want to store the data normally without any kind of requirement, you are going to use general purpose. What you can use? General purpose. General purpose EBS volumes are used to store the data without having any specific requirement. You want to store it, but no specialty on it. After taking selfie with him, unfortunately not this time, fortunately only, uncle daughter came. Whose daughter came now? Uncle daughter came now. Now uncle introduced her daughter to you. Now you are speaking with her. Unfortunately, she is also asking to take selfie with you. Now you are going to take selfie with her or not, sir? For example, her name is Radhika. Let's take. What is her name? So Radhika asked her to take a selfie with you. Now you are gonna take selfie with her. Now tell me, you want to store it separately, yeah, like normal, eh? Separately, right? Tell me, man. Like, if you click a selfie with Radhika, are you going to store it separately or normally? Separately. Why? Because you want to see the data very frequently. You don't want to see picture with uncle. We don't want it. But you want to see the picture with Radhika daily, at least 1,000 times in a day, for example. So in this kind of time, we are going to use the provision DevOps. Which one? Provision. Provision IOPS. Sir, for example, if you want to access data very speedily, so in that case, you are going to use the provision. You have two pictures, picture with uncle and picture with Radhika. Which picture you want to open very speedily? Picture with Radhika. So obviously, you need to go for provision. Which picture you want to open generally? That is the reason we are using. So is the concept of general and provision clear for all of you? To store data normally, general. No, sir. To store the data very special and you want to access very like frequently with a very speed. So in that case, you are going to use the provision. So this is the SSD classification. Coming to HDD, after end of the conversation, what happened, you know? Radhika unfortunately pinged you on the WhatsApp. Hey, Dadapir, we have taken one selfie together. Na? You please send it to me. Now, who is asking selfie here? Radhika is asking selfie. So, Radhika selfie. Sir, whenever Radhika is asking selfie, we need to send it very speedily or not, sir? Within fraction of second, we need to send it. So whenever you want to transfer data very speedily, so in that case, you are going to use the concept called throughput. Which one? Throughput main purpose is to transfer the data very speedily. Which one? So here I'm going to use throughput. After that, again your uncle pinged you on WhatsApp. Dadapir, we took a selfie, na? You send it to me. Now this time you want to send it speedily or you want to send it whenever you want? Whenever you want. So do you have any requirement for it? No. So whenever if uncle asks selfie to send, so I'm gonna use the type call here. Which one? Cold HTTP. Which one? Cold HTTP means if you don't want to transfer data very speedily, if you are accessing the data very infrequently, you don't see the generally with uncle, right? You want to access the data very infrequently and you want to transfer normally. So in that case, you are going to use the concept called cold HDD. So this is the high level understanding about the usage of EBS volume. Now, based upon the scenario, based upon your requirement, you are going to select the EBS volume type. So again, I'm explaining this concept one more time. First of all, whenever if you click a selfie with uncle, so here you are going to use general purpose. What you're going to use? General purpose means you want to store the data, but without any specific requirement, just like our uncle selfie. Second, if you click a selfie with Radhika, you are going to use provision IOPS. Why? Because this kind of data I want to store separately and I want to access it very, very frequently. So I need to get the data very, very speedily. So This is the SSD classification. Coming to HDD, Radhika asked her selfie to send you through the WhatsApp. So now you want to send data very speedily. To send data very speedily, you are going to use throughput. And now uncle is asking selfie with you. Like he is asking to send selfie which you have taken from your phone. Now you want to send that picture. You don't want to access it very frequently and you don't want to send it very speedily. So in that case, I can use something called cold HDD. So this is the classification of the EBS volume. So now is the concept of EBS volume clear for all of types of EBS volume? Of course, it will be very clear, right? All can you please confirm me? Is the concept of EBS volume types clear for all of Anirudh Omesh will take separately, with each other or with Radhika? Na? Okay, fine. See, like how lively the concept is. That's it. Yes, so that today only we started AWS first session. Fine. So now here if we go to this one, guys, here we are having a lot of values. Basically, these values are not need to remember actually. Just for your clarification, I'm telling you. So volume size, if you take general purpose, minimum 1 GB and maximum. And for provision, minimum will be 4 GB, maximum will be 16 terabytes. And coming to HDD, if you go for throughput, you can take minimum 500 GB to maximum 15 TB and HDD, minimum 500 to maximum 15 TB. But in real time, for normal applications, we don't use terabyte of data. Very, very big application like Swiggy, Zomato, WhatsApp, Facebook. These kind of applications only use terabyte of data. But normal regular applications will won't use this much of data actually. And coming to here, you need to know about two things. IOPS. IOPS means input output per second. What is the meaning of IOPS? Provision IOPS will be having the 64,000 IOPS, which is very, very high actually. Of course, if you want to increase, you can increase also. That much of flexibility we have. That's it. Here, throughput means how speed the data can be transferred. It is going to measure on MB per second. What is throughput here? How speed the data is going to be transferred in the MB per second. Second one, IOPS. IOPS means how speed the data is going to be read in. Right. So this is the two things you need to understand. Throughput means data transferring. IOPS means read and write activities. Fine. So now here you are going to learn something about snapshots. What I'm going to teach you about? Guys, snapshots are going to be very, very important concept to understand. So let me tell you what exactly this snapshot is. Wait. Yep. Sorry? Cost management of? No, they won't ask you. See, it is very hard to define these values. Even I cannot able to remember all the values. Okay, no need to remember that one. So coming to snapshot, it is the primary thing what you need to understand in the EBS volume concept. Sir, snapshot or point in time of images of copies of your EBS volume. There are a lot of theory here, which I'm going to explain with the help of small diagram. If you understand the diagram, everything will be fine. Okay, I'll explain what is snapshot here. For example, you have the server. What you have? Inside the server, if you want to store data, what you are going to create? You are going to create the EBS volume. In this EBS volume, by default, what you are having, you will be having the operating system. You will be having the operating system. You will be having the files. And what are the packages you install? Even the packages and softwares also be going to include in the EBS volume only. Where it is going to include? EBS volume. So now what happened, for example, if I want to take the backup of EBS volume, so I'm going to create something called a snapshot. What I'm going to create? This snapshot will consist whatever the EBS volume is having. For example, inside the EBS volume, what I'm having as of now, I'm having the OS, I'm having the files, and I'm having the packages. The same thing will be replicating to the snapshots. Where it is going to replicate? Snapshot. Simply what we can call as snapshot is the backup of the EBS volume. Unfortunately, if you lost your instance, you lost the complete data, but no need to worry. If you take a snapshot, with the help of snapshot, you can relaunch your instance with the same OS, with same files and same package. Is it clear now? So by default, we are going to have 5000 EBS volume in a single account, and maximum number of snapshots we can create is 1000. I mean like 10,000 here. Okay. And what are the snapshots you are going to create? This snapshot will be storing on AWS S3 bucket, where it is going to store on. But this bucket is not our bucket. These buckets are going to maintain by AWS people. In AWS cloud, they will create the separate buckets. So in this cloud only, they are going to maintain the buckets. Unfortunately, if you delete your snapshot, you can able to recover it. That kind of flexibility we are having now. So coming to here, snapshots are region specific. That means if you create a snapshot on US East 1A, it won't come to Mumbai. Okay. If I create a snapshot on US East, I can be able to access on US East 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E, 1F. But I cannot able to access to Mumbai region or any other region. To migrate the EBS volume from one region to another region, we need to create a snapshot. Already I said, currently you have the EBS volume on US East 1A. I want to take the same volume to AP South 1, that means Mumbai region. So I need to create a snapshot here like that. So while you are dealing with the snapshots, you need to understand one thing. Basically, whatever the theory you are seeing here, I'm going to explain everything on the practical way. Why? Because it's going to be very clear. Why? Because theory is very boring on AWS. But if I start explaining the practical part, everything will come in the same these points only. So if you go to the diagram, in this diagram, whatever you are seeing, the same thing I'm going to show it lively for you. So here, first of all, I'm going to create a server on US East 1C, where I'm going to create it on. But of course, you can create on US East 1A, 1B, like anything is fine. Why? Because guys, theory will be very boring on AWS. Okay. But if I start telling practical, every concept will be very, very easy for you to understand. So let me go and start the practical part so you can get some clear action. Currently, I'm on which region? Northern Virginia. So what I'll be doing, I am going to launch an EC2 instance with the name of 1. What is the name of the server here? I'll install some packages. I'll deploy the application and I'll create some files also. Okay. So name will be 1. So next year, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Amazon Linux to instance at V2 micro. Keeper, I'm going to take a normal keeper. All traffic I'm giving it here. And I'll be deploying an application here. What I'll be deploying here? Default, I can take 8 GB, but maximum I can take up to 16 terabytes, but I want 8. Wait. Unfortunately, I forgot to select the section. Like I have given 1C there, but let's see which availability like region is coming here, like availability zone. But guys, here no need of mentioning the same. Here I have given 1A, but there I have given 1C. Don't forget, like let me do it on 1C only. Why? Because in diagram I have given 1C. Na? I don't want to make it confused for you. It's fine. Let me terminate this one. I have seen that. He's been laid off, right? Yeah. So here I'm creating an EC2 instance here. But again, the worst part is server is loading very slowly. See, I am connected to the LAN here, but it is not working. I've seen the plugin here, but it is not working here. See. So name of the server will be 1. And here I'm taking one AMI here. It's taking this much of time. So I have taken Amazon Linux 2 here. And instance type normal T2 micro is fine. And coming to the key pair. So normal key pair only I'm taking. So coming to the network setting, I'm gonna create an US East 1C, but it is my choice. I can create whatever I want. Okay. In the subnet, it is loading very slowly, man. Subnet, I'm gonna take it as 1C. You can see it here. So security group, just give all traffic, generally what we use, and launch an EC2 instance. So now in this server, you are going to deploy an application. What you are going to deploy? What is the application? Like already we are having Netflix script, right? So if we go to GitHub, Raham Sheikh, all setups. So here you are having the Netflix application, take it, it is going to be deployed. But I'm going to change one thing on the script here. Click on sign out. Sign out from all accounts. I'll be logging to Raham Sheikh 007. So I'm going to connect to the EC2 instance here. So guys, already you know, we are going to call this volume as root volume. Which volume? Why? Because our OS will run. I'll show you how it is running inside our server. What is the EBS volume size we have taken? 8 GB. But if you go in server and if you check the volume size, you will be getting only 6 GB. Let me show. Because 2.2 GB for the operating system. So in the GitHub, I'll be going to all setups. So here I'm going to change one thing for you. So in the Netflix script, there is Netflix here. Here I'll use chk config HTTP on. That is the only thing I want to give it here. I am giving the command chk config HTTPD on. So with the help of this script, I'm installing the Git and I'm installing HTTPD and I am deploying the application and everything. So copy this script here now. And just run this script. So sudo -i. If I give the command df-h, what is the EBS volume we are seeing here? Out of 8 GB, 1.8 GB is consumed. Why? Because it is 1.8 GB consumed by the operating system. If we go to cd/, it is the path of our operating system. Give the command du-sh. See how much of data is consumed by our OS? Why? Because here we are having the OS files. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to run the script called Netflix. What I'm going to run? So automatically I can deploy my application called Netflix here. So here you can see my Netflix application is deploying. Okay. So now in my operating system, I'll be having the git install. I'll be having the HTTPD install. And I'm having my source code also. Where is the source code present? var www HTML. You are having the operating system, you are having the packages, and you are having the files. In which server? In US East 1C. That is my server number 1. Now, if I want to take the backup of my server, to create the backup of my server, we are going to create the snapshot. If you take a snapshot, whatever the data you are having on EBS volume, like OS packages files, will be coming to the snapshot. But before that, go and try to check the application. Are you able to access the application now? Why? Because in my volume, I have the code. Is code giving me the application or not, sir? Yes, correct. So now just see the process of taking the snapshot. It is very straightforward process. If you want to take the snapshot of your EBS volume, first select your EBS volume. So in your server number 1, go for the storage. And here you are going to select the volume ID. After you select the volume ID, you are going to get the option called create a snapshot. In the action, select this volume. In the action, are you seeing create a snapshot? The moment if I create a snapshot, I'm gonna give the Netflix snapshot. Why? Because my Netflix application is deployed here. I'm gonna give Netflix snapshot. The moment if I create the snapshot, automatically the data will be transferring from EBS volume to snapshot. See, this is what I can call as data in transit. Data in transit means transferring the data from EBS volume to the snapshot. For example, while data is transferring from EBS volume to snapshot, if I add new file will not be replicated. So make sure this point. So now once the snapshot is created, I want to migrate the EBS volume from US East 1C to US East 1D. That is the reason I create snapshot. Now from the snapshot, again, I'm going to create EBS volume. Why? Because remember, snapshot will be the backup of EBS volume only. That is for backup purpose. But if you want to attach snapshot for server, it is not possible. Why? Because if I want to attach snapshot to the server, I need to create EBS volume from the snapshot. Now how to do it? It is very easy. Currently, if you go to snapshot, you can see the ID of snapshot here. Or if you can go to snapshots. Here, completely the snapshot is complete. So now again from this, I'm going to create the EBS volume. How to create? Select this snapshot. Click on action. Are you seeing create volume from the snapshot? So guys, previous volume is 8 GB. I can give more than 8 or I can give 8 GB, but less than 8 GB I cannot give. So remember, while you are creating the snapshot from like EBS volume from snapshot, this snapshot already created from one EBS volume. If the first EBS volume size is 8, this next EBS volume will be 9, 10, 11 or even 8, but it cannot be less than 8. Correct. So now I'm going to give it as 8. I want to create it on US East 1D. Why? Because my second server will be on which region? 1D. Even though if you want to encrypt the volume, you can encrypt, but I'm not encrypting the volume as of now. Click on create the volume. Is the volume created now? So now this volume I'm going to attach to the server called US East 1D. But do you have US East 1D server? Let's go and create the US East 1D server now. So you want to launch a EC2 instance on the US East 1D. So go to the instances, launch instance. The only thing you want to change is availability zone to US East 1D. It is my server number 2. AMI Amazon Linux 2. Instance at P2 micro. Key pair. Normal key pair. Here I need to select what now? In the subnet, I need to select 1D. So security group, give all traffic. By default, in real time, we don't give all traffic. For web server, we need to give port number 80. For app server, 8080. But initially, I'm using all traffic for it. Make sure this one. So now you launch the instance on US East 1D. Where you launched it now? So now for this server, whatever the volume I create from snapshot, I need to attach. Why? Because in the initial server of 1C, I have operating system, I have files, I have package. So I'm having the Netflix application also. This application I have taken backup as a snapshot, and this snapshot I create as a, why? Because we cannot attach snapshot to the server. So definitely we need to create the EBS volume. So in this EBS volume, you have the OS, you have the files, and you have the package. Even application is also there. Now this volume you are going to attach to the US East 1D. So automatically same application, same OS, same package, same files will come or not, sir? Now here my question is, already this US East 1D is having one EBS volume, but I'm attaching one other thing. You have two options. You can attach this volume directly without removing the existing volume, or you can remove the existing volume of US East 1D and attach the EBS volume. The general purpose what we do in real time is if we want to attach root volume. Okay, if you want to attach the root volume, the existing volume must be removed. It is root volume. How can you say it is root volume? Why? Because I have OS. So whenever if you're attaching the root volume, existing volume of the server need to be removed. So how to remove the existing volume of a server means, guys, remember, if you want to remove the existing volume of a server, you need to stop it now. First of all, you are going to what? Stop. Once if you stop, then only you can be able to remove it properly. So click on to. Of course, you can remove forcefully also, but it is not recommendable. The better way to do is stop it, remove the volume, attach the volume from snapshot. So go for stop it. And again, all of these points I have mentioned on the notes. If you can go and see here in the notes, I have mentioned this point. While snapshot is on pending status, like where it is one, here I have given. To create the snapshot of EBS volume, you must stop the. Remember, while you are creating the snapshot and while you are attaching the root volume, it is better way to stop the server. Of course, even though if you don't stop, it is completely fine. But better way is to stop it. Once this server got stopped, we are going to the volume and we are going to remove that one. So it is stopped now. In the storage, go for the volume. You are going to remove the volume. Remove means detaching. So click here. Click on detach volume. So now the server US 1D is volumeless server. That means if you want to start it, it will not be started. Why? Because there is no OS. Without OS, how can you interact with the system? So it won't start. So now already we create one EBS volume from snapshot, right? Attach this EBS volume to that server. How to find that one? It is very easy. If you go to the volumes now, sir, what is the volume we created from the snapshot here? How can you see it? See, currently you can see it from here. I create the volume for 1D. Are you seeing it availability zone 1D? And are you seeing the time here? Are you able to see it or not? So now this is the volume actually. This is the volume I want to attach. So I select this volume in the instance. You can go to attach volume. Now if you come here, search for the instances. Are you seeing the instance here? Instance number 2. And the name I need to give XVDA. Are you seeing the first one? First. Now if you click on attach volume, automatically now inside this volume you are having OS, files, packages. Everything will be coming to this server now. That means simply whatever you have on server 1C, you transfer to server 1D. How you done it? By creating the snapshot, and from snapshot you create the volume, and this volume attached to the 1D. Now if you start the server, automatically server need to run the application. Why? Because inside the EBS volume you also deployed the application, right? Let's go and check. If my application is running, my server migration is completely done. If it is not running, it's not done. Let me go and verify. Tell me one thing. In server number 2, have I installed any package? Have I deployed any application? Have I created any file? No, but automatically you can get the same thing here. On-prem things will have some different methodology. So now if you copy the public IP address of your server, I'll tell you. Are you getting the application now? This application is running from which server? US East 1C or 1D? It is running from US East 1D. Are you seeing it? Server number 2? Server number 2 is located on which availability zone here? 1D. Previously your application is on 1C, right? But now currently the application is on which state? 1D. That means you migrated the application from 1C to 1D or not, sir? How you done means taking the backup of server. How you take the backup of server? By the snapshot. Again, from the snapshot, what you are going to create? EBS volume. So this is how the server migration will be done from one availability zone to another availability zone. So now is the concept clear for all of you? Know everybody. Online, can you please confirm is the concept of server migration clear for all of you or not? Fine. Next here, sir, can we attach multiple servers to same volume? Definitely. Same volume we need to attach to multiple servers. Question is wrong actually. You asked the question in reverse manner. It's fine, Ankit. Like we can do it. Sir, if it is cluster, even though if it is cluster, you can do it funny. Okay, sir, you said that like we copied the server from 1C to 1D. Here I have given a step-by-step process. Create a server on A, copy the snapshot, create a volume, stop the server, remove the existing and attach. I have given step by step. Sir, for example, I want to migrate my application from Northern Virginia to Mumbai region. Then how can I do it? So basically, you have the concept of snapshot. If you go to the snapshots here, currently where is the snapshot? In which region? Northern Virginia. Click on action. Click on copy snapshot. Now you can copy it to the Mumbai region. Which region? Mumbai means AP South 1. So go here and check AP South 1. Top. Now if I click on copy snapshot, automatically Mumbai will get the snapshot. Now if you go to the Mumbai region, I'm going to Mumbai region now. I wish we could have a better internet. Now in the Mumbai region, now the same snapshot coming to the Mumbai region, like whatever the snapshot you are seeing from Northern Virginia, same thing copied to the Mumbai. Now in Mumbai, can I launch the application now? No, my question is, can I launch the application or not? Yes, I can launch. Why? Because already here though I am having the snapshot. Whenever if you are having snapshot, you are going to create a EBS volume and that volume you are going to attach to the any of the server. But here my question is, why to create volume from snapshot? What is the purpose? Why? Because volume's main purpose, sorry, snapshot main purpose is to take the backup only. But snapshots cannot be attached to the servers. Okay, that is the reason we need to convert snapshot to the EBS volume. So now already this I copied to the Mumbai region. You can see status is on pending status. Which one? In the meanwhile, I am going to create an EC2 instance on the Mumbai region. Let me go and create here. Now you can take whatever availability zone you can. US East 1A, sorry, AP South 1A, AP South 1B, AP South 1C, anything is fine. Same exact way. But while taking snapshot and while attaching EBS volume, you need to stop the servers. Here also we are doing it. This LAN is working too slow today. It was working very fine. Yes, Ramu, I'm going to tell that AMA concept also. Don't worry it as of now. I'll connect with Wi-Fi. So in the launch instance, now I'll be going here and I'm going to create an EC2 instance. So it is my like server number 3. Of course, you can put whatever you want. AM I have taken. So after this AMI, like T2 micro, keeper, if you have any keeper, that's fine. Even though if you are not having any keeper, it's completely fine. I'm gonna go without keeper. So security group. So I need to give all traffic. Why? Because I want to access the application, right? So create a new security group with all traffic. Now here subnet you can select or you can leave as it doesn't matter, guys. You can select whatever subnet you want. Okay. Instead of SH, what I need to put here? All traffic. Click on launch. You were telling something? That is a normal root volume, right? No, if you want to attach the volume, you need to stop it first of all. Okay. Okay. I'll come to your point. Wait, okay. I got your point. So now currently the server is on which state? Running state. So if I want to attach my snapshot, first of all, what I need to do, I need to convert the snapshot into. But here, if you can go and see, currently the snapshot is on which status? So you are going to create what? EBS. So click on action, create a volume from snapshot. So 8 GB is fine for me. And I launched the server on USC episode 1A. So definitely here also you are going to select 1A. But if you select 1B, it is not going to be added. So make sure your volume and server will be on same availability zone. Create the volume. So now this volume I want to attach to my server, to this server, right? So how to attach the volume to the server? First of all, you need to stop it. Hmm? Yeah. Internet is slow. Maybe for your batch only it is coming. 4:30 batch, I never got any kind of interruption with the internet. So it is now on which state? So how to remove the volume? Very simple. Just go to the volumes. That is the name of the volume, naming convention. It is loading too slowly. Now you got the volume here. Select the volume, go for action, click on detach the volume. After you detach this volume, now we are going to attach the other volume to the server. What is our other volume? You can see. For example, if you don't know what is the volume, you can see the creation time. What is the creation time? 1857. This one, right? So select this one, click on action, click on. Guys, remember while attaching the volume, please make sure that you are attaching right volume. If you don't know what is the volume you created, while creating the volume, you 10 GB. Which one? So whenever if you see 10 GB, that is your volume only. Okay. So click on action, click on attach volume to the server on episode 1. So device name, we can go XVDA. See, if it is root volume, definitely we need to give dev XVDA. Currently, I'm attaching root volume or not, sir? Yes. How can you say why? Because that volume is having the. Oh yes. If it is not root volume, you can give whatever you want. Attach volume. Now I'm gonna start this server. Now tell me, in this server, will I get my application Netflix running or not, sir? Yes. Let me go to the instances here. Currently, I'm starting the server. So whenever if you start the server, you'll be getting the public IP address. Go and copy paste it. So if you can go and see, copy the public IP address. Now paste it on the browser. Now I am accessing the application from which server? AP South. But that means previously your application is running on Northern Virginia, but currently your application will run from. Are you getting the application now? This is how you are going to migrate the application. You can call it as server migration or you can call it as application migration. Tell me one thing. The process is going to be very, very easy or not, sir? Is the concept clear for all of you? Online, can you please confirm is the concept of migration application from one region to another region? Clear for all of you or not? Great. How can you migrate the application? Tell me the process. Experience only I'm talking. Same questions. That's it. And one more thing, snapshot, even though unfortunately, if you delete snapshot, you can recover. Let me show you. Basically, it is not required, but for the experienced people, these kind of activities they will do. Even I done my or like I done on my organization. Let me show you. For example, if I go to section of snapshot, I select it here. You can go to snapshot settings. Are you able to see it now? You can give the ID. For example, if I want to share the snapshot to some other person ID, to some other person, see, it is snapshot is on my account. If I want to share it for your account, I can give the account ID. For every account, we are having the account ID. Are you seeing the account ID here on the top? If you share me your account ID, I can be directly sharing the snapshot to you. Directly, even you can able to get the application. And snapshot log. Snapshot log means once if you create the snapshot, if you don't want to do any modification, so you can go and you can put the lock mode. So coming to the storage tiers here, currently we are going for standard. And here archive completer. Basically, I don't have any archive. Guys, whenever if you create a snapshot like this and if you put like this, for example, it is going to cost 100 rupees. How much it is going to cost? But if you put this on archive mode, it is going to cost only 25 rupees. So it is recommended to archive the snapshots in order to reduce the cost. It is one of the cost optimization technique. So whenever if you create a snapshot like this, by default, it is on normal mode. But if I click on action, are you seeing archive snapshot here? Where you are seeing it here? Last. Click on archive snapshot. See, if you are archiving the snapshot means archiving snapshot, store a full copy of snapshot in the archiving tier. Archiving is recommended for monthly, quarterly, and yearly snapshot. And archiving snapshot lead to the higher cost than storing the snapshot in the standard tier. So what I can do is I can click on archive it. Currently, where is the snapshot here? It's gone to archive. So if I select here now, the storage tier, last tier change started on this time. That means at this time you have archived the snapshot. Currently archival is like impending. So after some time it is going to be completely archived. And even though if you delete the snapshot, you can be able to recover it. For example, this snapshot, I am trying to delete this one. What I am trying to do? Delete. So confirm, delete. Yeah. So now if you click on recycle bin, in the recycle bin, are you seeing the retention rule? By default, you need to create this one. But before creating, we have deleted. So remember, before creating the retention rule, you cannot delete the snapshot. If you delete it, we cannot retrieve it. But don't worry, here already we are having snapshot on some other region. That is the reason I deleted here. If I go to Mumbai, in Mumbai, I deleted this one. But in Northern Virginia, do you have the snapshot or not, sir? So whenever, unfortunately, if due to some reason, if somebody removed the snapshot, it is very difficult to manage it. So as an administrator, definitely need to create the retention backup. So how to do it means, currently I'm having snapshot here. Click on recycle bin and let me remove all other things here. In the recycle bins console, click on create retention rule. Retention rule will be net, like whatever you can give. I'm giving Netflix snap retention. Okay. So description is not required. Resource type, I'm applying it to the snapshots. Okay. So coming to here, retention period. For example, time period of the resource that can be recovered after deletion. For example, if I delete a snapshot, within 30 days, I want to recover it. So I can put here 30. If I put 30, within 30 days, I can recover. But after that, can I able to recover? If I put here 90, within 90 days, I can be able to recover. So I'm selecting it here. Now after that, I'm going to click on create retention. Oh, enter a key and value. Key will be snap. Value will be Netflix. Here, this is up to like my choice. I can give whatever you want. Apply to all resource. Wait, I can click this one instead of that one. Fine. Click on create retention rule. Once if you create the retention rule, so within 90 days, you can be able to recover the snapshot. Now, if I go to snapshot, I'll be going it here. I'll be going to click on delete snapshot. Type here, delete. Once if I click on delete, now automatically what will happen? If I go to recycle bin now, in the recycle bin, can I able to see it now? Go for retention rules. In the retention rule, currently select this one. So you can go and check here. This is the rule actually what you have created. In the source of resource, wait, it is taking some time to replicate. Yes, same process, Ankit. Definitely every large application will do the same approach. Man, it is taking a lot of time. Yes. I'll tell you. So if you go to the above link, so from this link you can be able to get to the recycle bin of the snapshot where you have removed it. Wait, where it is gone? No, here you need to get the rule ID. Wait. Basically, we need to see the snapshot in recycle button, but unfortunately, it is not loading here. That's what I'm checking. I removed the Northern Virginia snapshot only, right? Wait. Let me log out and log in. I think one of the reason it is not replicating is before retention rule activated, it might be removed. I removed instantly now. I created retention rule, but before retention rule activated, it might be removed. That is the reason it is not showing, but let's check why it is not working. Go to EC2. In the section of snapshots, and lifecycle manager also we need to like we can enable. So currently I don't have anything. So previously I removed one snapshot. If I go to recycle bin, in the retention rules, I already have the retention rule here. It's 90 days. Already created it, right? Mm, like my estimation is, unfortunately, I removed it before the retention rule activated. That is the reason. See, to start protecting your snapshot, create a retention rule. Protect your EBS volume and AMI from accidental deletion. That is correct. Like, why it is not working? If I go to recover sorry, not recover IMS. Wait, recover snapshots. Here you can see in this page, like my estimation is I removed the snapshot before this activated. But let's see like why it is not working. Don't worry, I'll create one more snapshot now. Like I haven't checked that it is activated or not. Like I directly go and I directly removed it. Okay, fine. So I'll be going this one. I'll try to create snapshot now. Create a snapshot. A, B, C, D I'm giving. Just watch for some time. Nothing, nothing. Why? Because we are using the root user now. Nothing is required. It's gonna be deleted. Let's completely delete. Definitely, definitely. Pressure ko like they won't do it. Freshers will not. It is completely experience level of task actually. What I'm teaching, you know. Let me go to the snapshot. Uh, so completing the action. Now I'm gonna click on delete. Before that, let me check it one more time. So, it's lock mode not locked. Okay. Okay. I'm deleting it now. So the moment if you delete, so let's go to the recycle bin now. Let's go for the resources. Are you getting it now? Just now I removed the snapshot at 7:18. Time is 7:18. I'm able to recover or not, sir? You can ask me, sir, why first time it is not worked. First time, before this rule activated, I removed it, unfortunately. Is my logic clear? I created the rule, but this rule need to be activated. What I done after creating, immediately I go and remove the snapshot before this rule exists. That is the reason why I'm not able to see it. But is it working now? So if I click on recover, automatically I can be able to recover the snapshot. So this is a high level overview of recovering the snapshot. This is the experience level of working. The people who is having experience of 4 to 5 years, only these people will do this kind of activities. But as a fresher, you are going to this much of depth here. Is my point clear for all of you know? Online, is the point clear for all of you know? Can you please confirm me once? Great. Fine. Okay, sir. Now you said you created the snapshot from EBS volume, but there is one more thing called AMI. From this snapshot, you can also create AMI. What you can create? AMI is generally, if I go to action, click an image. Sir, generally, if you get an image, what will happen? Operating system, everything will come. But if I create snapshot from this image, whatever the data inside snapshot, like operating system, files, application, everything will come from the image. Let me show you. Image name, I'm going to give it as Netflix. Again, it is also one of the real-time admin level tasks, like experience level tasks. Description, you can give whatever you want. So root volume 8 GB, that's it. I don't want to do anything extra. The moment if I create this image, already this image will be having the application now. Now directly if I launch EC2 from this AMI, I need not to deploy my application. Why? Because already application is inside the AMI. Why? Because this AMI is created from the snapshot. Already snapshot is having image or not, sir? Yes. So once it is completed, click on select button, click on action. Oh, sorry. This is image. Okay, sorry. I need to go for image section. In the image section, you can see an option launch instance from this AMI. Currently, the status is available. So select this one, launch instance from this AMI. Now, your custom AMI will select. Which AMI will select? Custom AMI. So see the name I am giving it as Netflix app. Already remember my image, like my application is configured on where? In the image itself. It is our custom image. Simply similar like your Docker image, man. In Docker image, already your configured application now. Same thing here. If I go here and see, now I'm using my custom AMI. What is the name of AMI? In this image, already I configured the Netflix application. Now, if I launch an application from here, now see all traffic. Immediately, without deploying the application, my server will give me the Netflix image. Let me show you. This concept is very, very interesting. This volume, snapshot, image is very, very high level interesting. So now let's go ahead and check the Netflix application. But before that, I can terminate the server number 1 and server number 2. Why? Because I don't want them running. I can remove it as of now. So you can go and check here. Currently, the Netflix application is on which state? Pending state. So it is running now. So tell me one thing. In this image, what I have now? I have the OS, files, that means code, Netflix application and packages. If I copy the public IP address, if I paste it here, if I hit enter, automatically my Netflix will run. Is it running or not, sir? There you go. This is the high level overview of your real time work. In real time, once you deploy a application to the server, you create a snapshot. From the snapshot, you create AMI. Why? Because next time if we want to deploy the application, you don't deploy it. Directly AMI you can use. AMI is already configured or not, sir? That's it. So this is the high level overview about the snapshots and AMIs and EBS volume. And if I delete the AMI, can I able to recover it? Of course, we can recover. Just like we recover the snapshot, same way we can recover the AMI. But remember, this AMI is not free to use. Definitely, we need to pay amount for it. So definitely, you are going to delete after your practice. And one of the advantages with this AMI, you can also able to sell it to the AWS marketplace. For example, if you put it on AWS marketplace, anybody can buy this image and they can pay amount for it. Like that. So I'm gonna click on deregister. That's it. So I removed the everything here. I removed the AMI and I removed the snapshots. Why? Because I want to make my server like my account very clear. If I make it, then definitely I'm gonna pay amount for it. So now I'm deleting this snapshot. Can I able to recover? Of course. Why? Because we are having the retention available. Okay. So for that purpose, what I can do, I'll delete the retention period also. Okay. It is telling that first of all, you need to deregister by the associated AMIs. It's completely fine. Currently, this AMI is running by one of the server now. First of all, you want to delete the server or you want to deregister. So what I can do, directly I can go and remove the server and I can delete the snapshots in the AMI. So this is the concept of volumes. Now tell me, is the concept of volumes, AMIs clear for all of you? All in, what about you? Can you please confirm is the concept of EBS volume and AMI clear for all of you? And one more thing, how to attach multiple volumes and how to increase the volume strength is pending. I'll explain this on the upcoming days for you. Don't worry it as of now. Okay, I'll explain how to increase the volume strength and how to attach the multiple volumes to the server. So guys, remember whatever the work you learn today, this is going to be completely real-time advanced level working. So experienced people will only work here, guys. Okay, so what are the concepts I'm teaching in AWS point of view? This will be very, very depth and this will be the real-time activities. Okay, so please practice all of them for your better usage. That's it. So now in today's session, if you are having any doubts or any queries, you can ask me now. In today's class, yeah. ना हिंदी में बात करो, कोई बात नहीं। हाँ,
उस सर्वर पे एक्स्ट्रा पैकेजेस या एक्स्ट्रा हमने सर्वर
इंस्टॉल की है।
तो स्नैपशॉट पे रेप्लिकेट होगा
After creating snapshot or before creating snapshot, it won't replicate. So definitely you need to make sure that whatever the data you are sending it to snapshot, okay? After sending the data to snapshot, if you add whatever data to server, it won't be replicated. So make sure this point. So online, like what about you guys? Are you having any queries in today's session online? And I have given the document in the Google Classroom also. You can take the document and you can practice. Online, any queries from your side? By the way, is the class interesting today? What about you online? Is the class interesting for all of you today? Can you confirm in chat box? Great. Basically, AWS is very boring subject. But I want to make it more interesting than DevOps. That is the reason I'm going for this much of depth, complete real time work. Initial, I was a AWS trainer, but I hate AWS. Why? Because I'll tell you one reality. If you learn only AWS, you won't get jobs. With only AWS, you won't get jobs. If you have DevOps, then only you can get jobs. That is the reason I left my AWS training and I started giving DevOps training actually. Why? Because if I train you on AWS, I'll get money. But what about jobs that that haven't given me satisfaction? That is the reason I left it. But again, I'm telling you, please don't depend upon only cloud. For cloud, DevOps is going to be mandatory. If you want to get job on cloud, definitely need to go for certification. Instead of spending money for certification, spend that money on this course. But it'll be fine. Okay. Interesting concept with your story imagination. Fine. So tomorrow also we are going to have one more storage with the high availability and elasticity. So tomorrow we are going to speak about the high availability and elasticity of AWS. So that's it for today, guys. Let's meet on tomorrow's session with some new topic. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, online. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.